Hi everybody, this video is going to show you a neat little trick about numbers. In particular, we're going to look at a repeating decimal and learn how to turn that into a fraction using a little bit of algebra. So this is a good lesson for connecting number sense and numeracy with some algebra. So on the screen we have a repeating decimal, 0.4 repeating. Now we know that because this decimal is repeating, then we should be able to turn it into a fraction, but 0.4 repeating is that's not a decimal that most people memorize. So I'm going to show you a trick to make it pretty easy to turn this into a fraction. And the key, like I said, is algebra. So what we're going to do first is give this number a name. We'll call it x. You can call it anything you like though. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this number x and we're going to multiply it by 10. So 10 multiplied by x. Well, you know how to multiply decimals by 10. That moves the decimal one place to the right. So 10x is 4.4 repeating. And remember, the original number that we started with, just plain old x, was 0.4 repeating. And the key is, if you'll notice, everything to the right of the decimal point is the same. So in the top line, 10x equals 4 point, well, after the decimal, we have 4 repeating. In the second line, we have x equals 0 point, and again, after the decimal is 4 repeating. So we're going to play a little trick of just algebra, and what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the bottom line from the top line. So we'll say 10x minus x, well, that's 9x. And on the right, 4.4 repeating minus 0.4 repeating, well, everything after the decimal cancels, so this is just 4 minus 0, which is 4. And now we have a really simple one-step equation. If you divide by 9 on both sides, you have x equals 4 over 9. So that's how you can convert a simple repeating decimal to a fraction. If you want to see this work, pause the video because I'm about to clear the screen to do a more complicated example. So the next question would be, well, what if your number is not just a simple repeating decimal? What if it's a little bit more complicated? So what if we had 0.5, 23, 23, 23, and so on. So this example is more complicated for two reasons. First off, the repeating pattern is not a single digit, it's 2 digits. And also, we have this initial 5 that's going to cause some problems. We're not repeating everything after the decimal. This 5 is just kind of in the way. So the idea is, if we were to move the decimal to this space, just after the 5, well, everything after this green decimal is 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and so on. And also, if we were to move the decimal to this space, in this red color, everything after the red decimal is 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3 repeating. So in the last problem, the reason we were able to solve it was that everything after the decimal was the same. Well, everything after the green decimal is 0.23 repeating. Everything after the red decimal is 2, 3 repeating. So we have the same pattern going on. And now we'll let algebra take over. So give this number a name. Let's call it x. And now, if I want to move the decimal from its starting position to this red spot, I have to move 1, 2, 3 spaces. So to move the decimal 3 spaces, I'd have to multiply by 1,000. So 1000x equals 523.23 repeating. If I want to move the decimal to the green spot, I just have to move it one space. In order to do that, I multiply by 10. So 10 times x is 5.23 repeating. So we've accomplished our first goal, and that was to get everything after the decimal the same. In both lines, everything after the decimal is 23 repeating. So what we're going to do now is the same trick as the last problem. We're going to subtract the bottom line from the top line. So 1000x minus 10x is 990x. And on the right side, I can ignore the decimal. Everything after the decimal is going to cancel, so it's 523 minus 5. So 523 minus 5 is 518. So now this is a simple one-step equation. Divide by 990 on both sides, and you have x is 518 over 990. Now, I really should simplify that fraction. I'm not going to. This video is already long enough. You can simplify fractions in your calculator by just typing 518 divided by 990, and you can see the reduced fraction. I don't really want to spend time dealing with these numbers. So anyway, that's the first lesson of the year. See you next time.